Buckle up as we dive into the unbelievable world where cops get thee to their bosses. The shock, the turmoil, the high-stakes game, it's all here. A moment of disbelief, the world off its axis. A heartbeat that echoes loudly in the silence of the room. This isn't a scene from a Hollywood blockbuster or a crime novel, it's reality that officers face in their line of duty. Picture this. Seasoned officer, hardened the streets, but always playing by the book. He's received assignments before, some tough, others seemingly impossible, but this is a whole new level of complexity. The boss, the one who the shots, who upholds the law, the wrong side of it. The very idea sends down his spine. It's like being asked to handcuff a ghost, a specter that has always loomed large and invincible. The emotional turmoil is, arresting a boss isn't just about slapping on a pair of cuffs and reading out the Miranda rights. It's about shattering trust, breaking thin blue line that binds the force together. It's about into a minefield of power plays and office politics, where one wrong step could mean career suicide. But what could lead to an order? Corruption, perhaps? A boss caught with his hand in the proverbial cookie jar, trading justice for a few shiny trinkets? Or maybe it's a misuse of power. The boss bending the law until it snaps, using his position to bully, intimidate, or manipulate. Or could it be a personal vendetta, a grudge held from years past, now resurfacing with a vengeance? Each possibility is a Pandora's box of questions and doubts, secrets and lies, each one a potential career ender, not just for the boss, the cop tasked with making the arrest. It's a high-stakes game where the pieces are constantly shifting and the rules are written in sand. Now that's a tough day at the office, isn't it? The cop sighs, strapping on his holster, ready to face the music. An unusual assignment indeed. But then again, in the world of law enforcement, is there really such a thing as a usual day? Now that's a tough day at the office, isn't it? Don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing facts. Now picture this. A cop is undercover in his own department, investigating his boss. It's like a plot ripped straight from a gritty crime novel. Imagine you're a seasoned officer, a loyal badge wearer, and suddenly you're handed a secret assignment. Your target? The very person you've been saluting each morning. You're walking into the lion's den armed with nothing but your wit and a hidden microphone. Each day, you're living on a razor's edge, balancing your cover and the quest for truth. It's a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where the mouse must outwit the cat while sharing its own den. The tension is palpable. Every conversation is a potential minefield. Every casual question could be the one that unravels your hidden agenda. You're constantly looking over your shoulder, wondering who might be watching, who might be suspecting. It's a constant dance on the edge of a precipice, where one misstep could send you spiraling down into the abyss. And let's not forget the potential consequences. You're not just risking your job here. If your cover is blown, you're facing serious threats to your safety and the safety of those you hold dear. The boss you're investigating isn't just a boss. They're a powerful figure with connections and influence. If they discover your betrayal, there's no telling what they could do. But despite all the risks and the tension, you push on. You believe in justice, in the integrity of the badge you wear. You're willing to risk it all to ensure that the corrupt don't tarnish the honor of your department, of your brothers and sisters in blue. And all the while, you're acutely aware of the irony. You're a cop, yet you're skulking around like a criminal, gathering evidence like a seasoned detective in a case that could very well end your career, or worse. Talk about having trust issues with your colleagues. Imagine the gut-wrenching moment when a cop discovers his boss is the criminal he's been chasing. Picture this. A diligent officer who's been tirelessly working to solve a case that's been baffling the entire department. He's piecing together clues, following leads, losing sleep over the puzzle that's slowly starting to take shape in front of him. As the pieces fall into place, there's a moment of triumph, quickly followed by a chilling realization. The picture he's been so focused on completing is not what he expected. The criminal he's been chasing, the mastermind behind the chaos, is none other than his own boss. It's an unthinkable betrayal, a staggering blow that leaves him reeling. His mind races, trying to comprehend the enormity of the situation. He's torn between shock and disbelief, grappling with the harsh reality that the man he's respected and followed into the line of duty is the very person he's been hunting. The mentor he's looked up to, the leader he's admired, is the villain in this twisted plot. The officer's world is turned upside down, his trust is shattered, his faith in the system shaken to its core. The man who once stood for justice and integrity is now a symbol of corruption and deceit. The hero he once idolized is now the antagonist in his story. It's a bitter pill to swallow, a hard truth that's difficult to digest. Struggling to come to terms with this shocking revelation, he finds himself at a crossroads. His duty as a cop, his commitment to uphold the law, is now pitted against his loyalty to his boss. It's a moral dilemma that tests his character, challenges his principles, and forces him to question everything he's ever believed in. This is a turning point in his life, a defining moment that will shape his future. It's a struggle between his personal feelings and professional obligations, a battle between his heart and his badge. It's a situation no cop ever wants to find himself in, a predicament that's as unique as it is unthinkable. Who said police work was predictable? What would you do if your boss, a cop, was breaking the law? Imagine this. You're a dedicated police officer, always on the right side of the law, always following the book, but one day, you witness something unthinkable. The person you've looked up to, your boss, is committing a crime. Picture this. Your boss, a seasoned cop, someone you've admired and respected, is on the wrong side of the law. You see them engaged in an illegal act. This is not a small transgression, not a petty crime that can be overlooked. This is a serious criminal act, one that shakes your trust and belief in the very system you're a part of. You're caught in a whirlwind of emotions: shock, disbelief, disappointment, anger. But beyond all, you're faced with a moral dilemma, a struggle between duty and loyalty. On one hand, you have your duty as a police officer, an obligation to uphold the law, to serve and protect, no matter who the perpetrator is. On the other hand, there's loyalty. Loyalty to your boss, to the person who's been your mentor, your guide, your leader. The decision to arrest your boss is not an easy one. It's a decision that could potentially jeopardize your career, strain your relationships with colleagues, and even put your life at risk. But it's also a decision that defines who you are as a cop, as a person. It's a decision that tests your integrity, your commitment to justice. So what do? Do you turn a blind eye, pretend you saw nothing, or do you step up, do what's right, even if it means arresting your boss? It's a hard call, a moral dilemma that requires courage, conviction, and a strong sense of justice. It's a decision that could change your life, your career, forever. It's a hard call, even for the toughest cops. So, we've seen some unimaginable scenarios where a cop has to arrest his boss. In our journey today, we've traversed some rather bizarre and unthinkable scenarios. We've seen dedicated policemen thrown into the deep end, tasked with the daunting assignment of arresting their own superiors. We've delved into the intricate web of the internal affairs sting, a covert operation designed to expose corruption within the very ranks of law enforcement. We've also witnessed the unthinkable betrayal, where trust is shattered and the lines between right and wrong become blurred. We've seen the heart-wrenching impact of these situations on the individuals involved, as they grapple with the moral dilemma of duty versus loyalty. These scenarios highlight the complexities of law enforcement. The moral conflict that arises when an officer has to arrest a superior is not just a simple matter of right versus wrong, it's a test of loyalty, integrity, and duty. It's a battle between personal feelings and professional responsibility. Each story underscores the harsh reality that sometimes, the people we look up to, the people we trust, can falter. It's a reminder that no one is above the law, not even those entrusted with upholding it. Duty, in its purest form, requires us to act without fear or favor, even when it means confronting those we respect and admire. In the face of such circumstances, these officers demonstrate remarkable courage and resilience. They show us that doing the right thing often comes with a heavy price, but it's a price they're willing to pay to uphold the integrity of their badge. These stories also underscore the importance of transparency within law enforcement agencies. They highlight the need for stringent checks and balances to ensure that power is not abused and justice is served, no matter who the perpetrator might be. Remember, in the world of law enforcement, sometimes the toughest decisions are the ones you never saw coming.